Guys? Jay Zhang here with you with Against the Grain and Zhang Nation live streaming on YouTube here. I have an interesting night planned. A very interesting night planned. I hope you're ready. What's going on? The power trip. I want you to think about the coup that's been happening to overthrow the people that do stand for American values and rights and freedoms and the Constitution. I want you to think about that. The people that are wearing the same color as my shirt, the red, that are standing for freedom, rights, Constitution. And then I want you to think about people that are wearing, hold on, give me just a second. Just a second. This color, this blue. See this blue? Okay, hold on. I want you to think about your freedom and your rights. And I want you to think about what I'm getting ready to read. I titled this show the famous Marxist quotes. And since not a lot of people that listen to me are familiar, I bet a few of you might surprise me. A few of you might do your homework. But I did pretty good in history and government and all that in school, both in high school and in college. So here we go. Anybody know who the Chairman Mao is? Chairman Mao Zedong in the 1920s, the revolutionary war man from China who overthrew everything in China. Let's read some quotes from him about starting a revolution. A revolution is not or writing an essay or painting a picture or doing embroidery. It cannot be so refined, so leisurely and gentle, so temperate, kind, courteous, restrained, and magnanimous. A revolution is an insurrection, an act of violence by which one class overthrows another. Now hold on to that quote. A revolution is an act of violence in which one class overthrows another. Keep that in mind, okay? And we can go on to some other Marxist, communist, socialist, Stalinist, Leninist, whatever you want to call them. And let's talk about Saul Alinsky. I'm going to spell it for you just in case you don't know who he is and you can look him up. Saul Alinsky. Saul Alinsky. He's another one of them revolutionary people wanting to do brand new things and overthrow everything and change the way we live. And this is him on curiosity and irreverence go together. Curiosity cannot exist without the other. Curiosity asks, is it true? Just because this has always been the best way or the best right way of life, the best or right religion, political or economic value, morality? To the questioner, nothing is sacred. He detests dogma, defies any finite definition of morality, rebels against any repression of a free, open search of ideas, no matter where they may lead. He is challenging, insulting, agitating, discrediting, and he stirs unrest. That's Saul Alinsky. Now think about that. Stirring unrest, such as all of these white setting police against black men, stirring up the pot, stirring unrest. It's done on purpose. It's done on purpose. Keep that in mind as well as we go on. And how about Marx himself, Karl Marx, whom Marxism is effectively named after? I got a bunch of them. Communism is the riddle of history solved, and it knows itself to be the solution. At 10 p.m. and not leave until 5 a.m. It's good for you. We have the solution. Very haughty, very big-headed, and very all-knowing. Communism is for us, not a state of affairs, which is to be a state which abolishes. It's pretty big-headed for a government to tell us what to do. Now, to all of you naysayers, I'm not a revolutionary. I'm about freedom. I'm about the Constitution. I'm about the Second Amendment. I'm not about all of this crap that I'm reading to you, but I want you to think about all of that I just read. All these quotes from the great communists, the great socialist past who overthrew governments and took things over. My last live, we talked about Cloward and Piven and how not to ever waste a good crisis. That's what Cloward and Piven said, and they were right along the lines of one Saul Alinsky, whom I just read to you. They were right along the lines of one Chairman Mao, whom I just read to you, and Karl Marx himself. They are all along those same lines. And the funny thing is, the end agenda with which they're trying to reach, this is crazy. Get ready for this. Anybody heard of Agenda 2030? Agenda 2030. Let's get into it. 4 years ago, at the very minimum, back in 2016, and it sounds flowery to the naked ear who isn't in the know and who doesn't understand. But they want to transform our entire religion and our ability to have money. Let's read it. Agenda 21. Agenda 2030. Look it up yourself. I'm not making it up. United Nations platform for the follow-up and review of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development adopted at the United Nations Sustainable Development Summit on 25 September 2015, right before 2016. It is a plan for action for the people, the planet, and prosperity. It's eradicating poverty in all of its forms and dimensions, including extreme poverty, is the greatest global challenge and an indispensable requirement for dystopia. Let's have a that all human beings can fulfill their potential in dignity and quality in a healthy environment. We are determined to protect the planet from degradation, including through sustainable. They are determined to foster peaceful, just, and inclusive societies which are free from fear and violence. There can be no sustainable development without peace, and no peace without sustainable development. They are yearning to form one world order. The man itself. The only way that they can get one world order is to get rid of all of the different countries, and they have their own monies, they have their own government systems, they have their own beliefs. But the only way to do this, according to these brilliant folks, is to eradicate all that and go with one form of money, religion, and to use the planet properly according to the states of one. That's really, really scary. It sounds flowery and beautiful to all of the naked ear, those who lack understanding. But to those of you who read between those lines, just think about how dangerous that is. Think about how dangerous that is. And using revolutionary tactics, mind you, like creating the divisions. It continued with George Floyd, politically charged and powered to divide us. It happened again with Breonna Taylor. Happened again with Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. I am as genuine as it gets. Look for yourself. We're heading in a really bad direction. And right now is the last night I can freely go out and grab a bite to eat without the police or without the government making it illegal. Because the whole world is on curfew starting tomorrow, all of Ohio anyway. Kentucky has already reclosed its restaurant at 5 a.m. because the virus, it comes out at night. It doesn't know daytime. It only comes out at night. So you're not safe at night. So stay home at night because the boogeyman's going to come get you. But at 5:01 in the morning, you can leave again. The boogeyman called Corona will be gone and you will be safe as long as you wear your piece of paper around your fucking neck. This is phase 2. They already did it earlier this year when they locked us down. Phase 2 is playing and tinkering even more with how much they can control us. Curfews. 5:01 will be safe to leave if we have a little piece of cloth on us. But at 4:59, it's illegal. It's unlawful. How much good sense does that make? How much common sense does that make? And how much good science was involved in that? Fraudulent numbers, fake science, pop science, bullshit science, politically charged, let me control you science. More than likely. That virus is going to be there at 10 in the morning. It's going to be there at 1 in the morning. Curfews are the most ridiculous thing. We can get these numbers under control. They control the numbers. They print the numbers themselves. The numbers will never be under control. This is their way of development. The flowery way of wording it. It's trash. People need to stand up. People need to get real. Wear masks. Wash your hands. Use a hand sanitizer. The flu has been down 90-something% this year. There's almost no flu this year because we're wearing masks, washing our hands, doing the hand sanitizers, being more safe. Flu. So keep doing that and protect yourself from the virus. Guide stones I told you about. If you did not listen to that podcast, don't know how well you'll be able to see this. But these are the guide stones. Schwump. These are the Georgia guide stones that say maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Maintain humanity under 500 million. You realize we have 7 billion almost people on planet Earth, and to make 500 million instead of 700 billion, we'd have to kill off 90% of every living, breathing human on planet Earth to maintain life according to their Georgia Guidestone dictates. It says to unite humanity with a living new language. Unite us. Take all of our different languages and cultures away. Filipinos will no longer be more Spanish. They want one language between us all. That's what I think. Stay vigilant. The schooling and education lesson is over. Hopefully, the latter, not the former. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 11. All those dark deeds will eventually come to light. The dark will be exposed. The dark and evil deeds that will be exposed by the light. You cannot hide in the dark forever. Peace.